Jose made it!
Surprise!
So, do you think that the people that came from Orlando drove back up with no radio on, just in just straight silence, just thinking about their transgressions and what they had done,
with one single tear just dropping down?
That's right, the whole 3.5 hour drive back up. Although from Chase Stadium, it probably was only like 2.5 hours because that place is far. Welcome to the Heron Heads podcast. My name is Julio, and I'm joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, happy Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. And on behalf of the guys, we want to thank you for stopping by here for episode 53 on the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. And for those of you watching live on YouTube, thanks so much for stopping by, and be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're enjoying the show. Shout out to our chief Heron Heads, Matias, Chow, Abu, and Ava. Thank you so much for your generous support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you will find a link in the description wherever you are listening. That was maybe the best soccer day, football day of all time. Not only did we destroy our rivals, we started beating them early, and the goals kept coming thick and fast. Dave was at the game. Very clear that when the Heron Heads are in attendance, only good things happen. So again, make sure you hit the Patreon link in the description, and we can keep going to the games. But just what a delightful afternoon. Dave, just give us the first person experience here.
It was great. I don't get to leave the house much since we have a 1-year-old, so we don't get to go out much. So I listened to Jose. Jose said this is a game that you're gonna just hide the baby. So I hid the baby, and me and my wife went to the park, and my God, from the get-go, it was a great day. We get to the fan zone. We're just gathering all the free swag that we can get. You can see the crowds just showing up. I didn't bring any stickers, so unfortunately couldn't give them out. Nobody recognized me, so it was fine. I could have had all the stickers and nobody would have asked for them. But so we got a bunch of free stuff. I'll share that with you guys later if you're interested. And then we got to the park where luckily we had access to that Northwest Club that they have there. So we were able to go in there and check out all the good food that they had. We just had a bunch of scallops and burgers and sushi and beers and Cokes and all that stuff for free. So it was great. And then, we got to the stadium and to our seats. Great seats around midfield. And what an atmosphere. The entire stadium was packed. I didn't notice any Orlando fans until they did the national anthem, and like UCF fans are known for saying "knights" when they say that night line in the national anthem. And then I heard them, and I kind of looked over to this one teeny tiny sliver of purple in one of the corner sections. So that was it. There wasn't many. I would say maybe 100 Orlando fans tops. And by like halftime, you looked at that section and it was bare. They were not there anymore. So it was great to see the stadium packed. The supporter section always out and about and super loud and proud. And from the get-go, you get a 3rd-minute goal from Suarez. I remember I saw that happen so quick. I was like, oh, I'm gonna record it. And before I can do it, and before I can lift the phone, Gressel had that hard pass in there, and Suarez just popped it in. Oh my God, man! It's just, and the goals kept coming and coming and coming. It was great. It was just so many goals, so much scoring. I mean, you can't ask for a better time at the park. And that was my wife's first soccer match, so she thinks that this is how it's going to be always, and I hope it is. So I mean, this is the type of breakdown you're going to get. If this isn't deep enough for you, I'm sorry, but let's go. Let's move forward. What do you guys think? I didn't have the option of hearing Twellman bitch and moan, so like I want to hear how he was from your guys' perspective.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing because he said the same crap. Julio could phrase that a little better, but it's the same thing over and over again. But I had the opposite experience from you because I didn't get to watch the beginning of the match. I was at a school fair. So I just start seeing the text coming in, Suarez goal. And then a few minutes later, Suarez another goal. I'm like, wait, what am I missing? I was like, let's go. We gotta go. We gotta go. So Went home, finally caught up. We were able to watch the second half, and I went back and watched the first half again that I missed. But man, what an exciting match! I think I, I it's so hard to explain it because you want to go crazy, but you also want to temper your expectations going forward. But how can you not go crazy with a 5-0 win against your rival? Suarez shut up all the doubters, even shut us up as well. Gressel too. Gressel had a really nice game as well. Shut everybody up today. It was a match of all the guys that we were questioning. They just all came out and showed why they were brought into Miami and why they're being paid the big bucks that Miami is paying them. So, I mean, overall, it was great. Messi was Messi. The defense was really, really good. Toto played lights out all game. Freire finally got his first start. Also played lights out. You could just tell that they were working with each other very well. And man, Toto, I was really impressed with Toto. He had a very, very nice match.
When you say shut us up, I hope you're not talking about me because I don't know what to tell you. But one of the keys of the match was Jose said, "I need Luis Suarez to show up." Am I wrong? You guys remember that?
Because you're calling for him to be rotated out.
I also said that
you
for us
the
to
table
win
for Luis Suarez not to start.
Oh, do you need me to pull it up? I'll pull it up. That's fine. That's cool. I have haters here. But what I said was I need him to be the number 9 that we know we brought him in to be. And he did. He in fact did. He came in. He had a brace. He had a great game. That's exactly what we wanted him to be. And that's it. It is what it is.
Definitely confirmed Luis Suarez, friend of the show, listens to the show, with Tata, with Messi, with all the team. They all heard us
do it.
They all got together last night. They all got together last night, played the last episode, and we're like, all right, guys, we can't let the Heron Heads down. We got to go for a 5-goal game and just shut everyone up.
I remember I was like, we have to have short memories. We have to have a goldfish memory. They asked Luis Suarez how he's been handling the pressure he's been getting from the local media, and he said, as a striker, you have to have a short memory. Fans have a short memory, so you have to just show them why you're great. It's exactly what he did. I mean, he had 2 goals. Did he have 2 assists, or did he have just the 1 assist?
Two assists, one to Messi, one to Robert Taylor.
And one to Robert Taylor. And he had a hat trick. He had a hat trick that was disallowed.
That offside was so bogus.
I could not believe they disallowed that goal. And
not just that, that they didn't review it. It was bananas.
The stadium was going nuts. No one understood why. Then it was that. I even texted you. I was like, why are they not reviewing it?
He was pissed off too. He kept chattering. He kept chattering to the ref after the fact. Like minutes later, he just kept in his ear.
Yeah, at halftime. And at halftime, he ran over and started talking to the opposing bench or the assistant referee or something.
He was mad. He was really angry.
It was that side judge. I know Messi had an issue with him when he took a ball to the baseline, and they just ruled it out on Messi at the baseline. It was a goal kick, and Messi had words for him the whole way up the pitch, and that was the same side judge that raised the flag on the offsides for Suarez. So,
be a goldfish. I agree.
Exactly. I mean, Ted is my older brother, so just disclosing that.
Can you put that? Julio, put that in there. Be a goldfish. Come on, you didn't watch the show. That's why it's not funny for you.
Okay. So I don't have like deep analysis, not that we ever do apparently. But let's talk about these goals because they came and like Chris, I was in the middle of driving home. So before I even got home, there were goals being scored, and I was like pulling over to the side of the road to
Can't relate.
Yeah, exactly. Only Dave got to enjoy.
No, I did too.
In peace.
I did too.
Okay.
Me and Dave were watching it, and we're just in sync.
Must be nice. Must be nice. Like, so I was driving when the score was
dancing. I danced so much every time they play that song that they play when they score. I think my back hurts, my legs hurt. I'm like, man, I had a really good time today.
How'd it go? Sing it. I'm on a river.
All right, so Gressel gets the ball out wide and whips a really nice cross in. Suarez's finish on that first goal was a clinical striker goal. Instead of going far post, crossbody, he hits it with his right foot to the near post, which I feel like is such a difficult technique to do, to stop the momentum of the ball coming in from the right, hitting it with your right and hitting it near post. The keeper had no chance, even though he was positioned in a situation where any other ball being played in, the keeper has a better chance, but the angle was crazy on it. And it went in, and what an awesome feeling for Suarez to get it in front of a packed house, to get it in Miami, and then not just that, but then to follow it up less than 10 minutes later with a second goal. Just awesome. And against Orlando, of all teams for it to be against Orlando, to have this release.
I will say, like, Orlando played us very, very differently than they have in the past. I'm very surprised that they didn't. Were they just unable to press?
They got punched in the mouth. They got punched in the mouth early, often, and the game was over in 20 minutes.
It's like, look what happens when we don't miss our opportunities, and when we don't turn the ball over egregiously in our own defensive third.
And there was a moment at very, very early where they were pressing us really hard, and as soon as we beat it a couple times, they sort of backed off, and I was like, oh, cool. So like, they're gonna let us play. And throughout the game, I mean, like I said, the game was over in like 15 minutes, but there were stretches where we had so much space to operate, so much room to operate. It felt like against the Galaxy, it was very congested in the midfield. And a big concern heading into this match was the midfield. And were we going to be able to dominate? Were we going to be able to hold possession for long stretches? And honestly, I was kind of surprised when the end of the game came around and I looked at the stats and Orlando outpossessed us. But it was similar to the game against the Galaxy where we somehow outpossessed the Galaxy in the first half, but they felt like they had the ball the entire time. It felt like we did all the driving in this game. And the idea that Orlando
did all the scoring in this game.
I mean, that's for damn sure. But it shows you how important it is to take advantage of the opportunities, because we just didn't miss. Like, we missed a couple of shots that were like really good opportunities and one called off for bogus offside, but it shows you what a difference it makes to be clinical. And then Orlando, they didn't get a shot on target until the 60th minute. So
yeah, the only bad miss I think we had in this one was Gressel. Gressel had a bad miss, but the other ones that we missed, I mean, unlucky crossbar and unlucky side post on the free kick for Messi. Those were the only misses in this one. I know Messi had a late free kick, but he was pressing. You can tell he just wanted to try to get that hat trick. And that's one thing that's kind of surprised me in this one, that Messi played the whole match. Busquets also played the whole match. Having Busquets out there the entire match, I think, is a little bit surprising, especially in the state of that match. It's 5-0. I don't think there's a real need for either Messi or Busquets to be out there. I know Messi was hat trick hunting, but Busi, I don't know. I wasn't able to keep track of the amount of subs. I know for sure there were 4 substitutions. Did they reach their sub max, and maybe that's why Busquets couldn't come off?
They did, but the subs came on fairly late. But if I'm not mistaken,
Toto got hurt and he had to come off.
Right, so we subbed on David Ruiz, Campana, Christoph, Mota, and Allen.
Mm-hmm.
So we used our 5.
Yeah.
But I also was surprised that they kept Messi on, that they kept Suarez came off, but that they kept Busquets on. We got a lot of matches coming up, and we'll talk about that later. But there's a lot of matches coming up in the next week and a half.
Yeah, just to go back to Suarez's 2 goals, it shows exactly what he's good at. What he's always been good at, but what he's especially good at right now. We always speak about he can't really get vertical anymore. He doesn't have that pace anymore. But both of his goals were, one was in the box, the other one was right outside the box that he kind of just bullied a defender and Gressel popped it over the line. Both of those were clinical and just trademark Luis Suarez. I mean, he bullied people around. He got inside the box. He was in the right position, and he was able to score on the first touch for the first one. And this other one was absolutely ridiculous pass from Gressel.
That's
what he was doing. It's insane.
Oh my god!
And the pass by Gressel,
he stayed up, and the pass by Gressel was outstanding. But that's what he was doing in Brazil. He wasn't getting vertical or anything, but he's still a beast inside the box, and we saw it today. And hopefully that chemistry keeps building up, and we'll see more of those trademark Luis Suarez inside the box type of plays.
I'm expecting more of that more of those Luis Suarez moments where all of a sudden we're just like wondering where was that all year, you know? Because it is trademark, like Chris said. It's like he's been doing that for a very long time in the Brazilian league. It's just a matter of like, okay, well, where has it been here, right? But I mean, we're game 3. Yeah, it took a while for him to get going there too, right? And what he's two goals on our biggest rival. This is great stuff, guys.
And 2 assists, like we said. Not
This
just
is
2 goals, 2 assists. The assist that he gave to Taylor, he could have been selfish. He could have tried to score that all day, every day, and no one would
I
have
thought he would be.
No one
He
necessarily
made
would
the
have
right
said,
pass.
yeah.
He made the right pass. That's
Yeah.
absolutely the right
Well,
pass.
He's not selfish.
Twelman
He's not a selfish player.
even called the hat trick because he thought he was gonna. He goes Suarez hat trick. Oh, pass to Robert Taylor.
And that's
I
something
would have never passed it to Robert Taylor. So I agree with Coleman.
that's something too that on that particular play shows the value of Luis Suarez. If you have a single defender that is not holding a tight line, he's going to make you pay. Because there was one Orlando defender that was a little like 1 or 2 steps back that kept Suarez on, and that killed him. That doomed them on that play. That doomed them. And not every player can do that. Not every player has the awareness to do that. And he held his line right with that guy. And then he just killed him. He killed him because then everyone stepped up, and it was like a bad offside trap. And he just easy pass to Robert Taylor. Robert Taylor must have been freaking out, being like, if I miss this, Jose's never going to let me hear the end of this. And he just tapped it
He's
in.
right.
Just
He's
tapped
right.
it in.
I mean, it was just him and the goal. If you would have missed it, it's just because, like Jose was in his head.
My wife turned to me after Robert Taylor scored, and she goes, "Ooh, sorry, Jose."
I don't mind that he scored. I just know that he sucks.
Can we talk about Gressel being fantastic today? I feel like I think Gressel gets the most hate out of anybody on this team. And I think he did everything today, with the exception of that one miss. Like his passes, not only his assist, but he had many passes that led to scoring opportunities as well. So I think Gressel today played within the way that I think Tata wanted him to be. So that can we please give Gressel his flowers, because the man has gotten a ton of vitriol from this fan base.
Us
Yeah,
included.
definitely. And yeah, us included. Exactly. It's and like we said multiple times, and even like on Instagram, Twitter, comments and stuff, we even said it may just be a chemistry thing. It may just be a chemistry thing. And today it looked like his chemistry was on point. He was making the right passes. He was making the right runs, and he was even playing really good defense at times too, which was great to see at the end of the day. But yeah, flowers given to him because he deserves it.
Of all days for it to come together, it just feels so good that it was against Orlando. It was just chef's kiss. Just it could not have happened at a better time. And who knows what we're gonna get against Nashville, but for today, could not have been better.
Oh,
Could not
let's
have
live
been
in
better.
it. This happened today. We're gonna enjoy today.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna enjoy tomorrow, and then we'll deal with Nashville when we get there. But right now, let's have fun.
I'm so glad they kept the starting lineup. I know we were talking about should they switch, should they not, but
Well,
man,
they got rid of Kristoff. You're super happy, right?
Yeah, I'm happy about that one. Definitely happy.
How about Freire?
Awesome. There was
exactly what we needed.
I didn't notice too much of him. A lot of his defensive plays happened when he was on
That's
the
good.
far side of the field for me. No, but there was one that they tried to go over the top, and he played it perfectly to break that ball up. And I was like, oh my god, that's something we haven't
David,
had.
but that's one of those positions where if the less you hear about, the better they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but today was one of those days
back
no one
line,
got
you don't want to hear
burned.
about them.
No one got burned. There was no terrible. There was a couple Busquets passes that you're just like, why are you trying to do the back heel flip when there's no one near you? And then he does it super soft, so then it's easily intercepted.
He was bored.
Outside of those Busquets passes, the center backs were great. They were great. They were moving. They were moving great. I know some people say athleticism isn't the only thing for these center backs, but they were moving well, and they were covering. and it's just no mistakes, and it's fantastic. You just love to see mistake-free ball out there, and that's why you end up with a clean sheet. Also, scoring 5 goals helps take pressure off the defense as well, so
Yes,
they start
100%.
playing a little looser.
And
But,
even
and we didn't get a Toto lunge either. Toto seemed so focused, and he was poking. He was poking with his feet, but he wasn't lunging. So it was really, really nice to see. Yeah, the evolution. This is what we wanted to see from Toto. See him evolve. If we can eliminate that over aggressiveness from him, and if Freire is exactly what we were hoping for. Yeah, Christoph coming in as a sub is great. Noah Allen coming in the 85th minute, fantastic. Like, these are all, today is a microcosm of what we want to see throughout the season, except with more substitutions of the older players as well. Redondo's right around the corner, so maybe that's Busquets, his reprieve. So yeah, I'm excited. It's hard to not be excited after this.
So
Something I don't know if you guys noticed the when we were on defense, when Orlando had the ball, the formation they kind of went to was almost like a low block. It was basically 2 lines of 4, and Luis, Suarez, and Messi would stay up because they don't really do much on that point. But yeah, they were playing almost like a low block with the 8 men just taking care of the back line, and Orlando had no answer for that. Orlando could not get through it, and they tried and they just couldn't. And yeah, Freire made a bunch of blocks, or not a bunch, but he made a few blocks that were really impressive. But Orlando had no answer for the defense that we played in. Credit to Tata because I don't think we've really seen that too much recently from Tata's formation. So it was impressive, and he did start with a different formation in the beginning of the match as well. He had kind of Messi playing that center attacking mid position on paper, and then Robert Taylor as a striker. So that was interesting too.
I think that was BS. I think that was just some social media intern got fired. They just were like, put it there. There was no chance Taylor was ever going to play right striker. Even Yedlin, to the point of the defense, even Yedlin had stretches of good defense. How often have we been able to say that in the last, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months since the final? Am I right, Jose?
But how? Let me ask you. Yeah, okay. But let me ask you a question. How often did you see him go up and try to join the attack?
Yeah, very few. But we saw Gressel really taking command of the right. And I think that's something that really needs to be focused on is you're allowing Yedlin to A, save his energy because he's not running up and down the pitch all game, and B, his ability to make up ground when he's beat is still fairly high. But when there's less ground to cover, then it's even greater. So we put him in a position to succeed. Tata put him in a position to succeed, and we have to give Tata credit too for that.
Yeah, and Gressel was going out to the wing a lot. Even on the pass for the goal, he was kind of just rotating out to the wing every so often. So that's kind of what he's known for, to play on that right side, on that wing or wing back position. So it was nice to see him kind of roll out and do what he's good at, the crossing, and getting the ball into the box and letting the playmakers make the plays. That's what he's here for, and he did it today.
So then, Dave, walk me through how you experienced the first Messi goal where he chested the ball in.
So that was the far side of the field, but yeah, I was basically on my tippy toes trying to get over everybody who was standing because everybody's on the tips of their feet. But yeah, so that was the one that Alba, he kind of controlled the ball and he just kept taking and taking. Everybody was waiting for Alba to pass it off, and then he just flared it in, and it just hit the bottom of the crossbar. And I'm like, oh, we fudged it. And then I saw somebody, I couldn't tell it was Messi. Somebody gets to the ball at the end. And I'm like, oh, they're going to smash it in. And they didn't smash it in. I just saw like a bunch of contact. And then everybody kind of just followed the ball. Just trickled in. And everybody's like, and then they announced that it was Messi. I was like, no way. That's the way he gets on the board. Fantastic. But yeah, would
have been a hattie.
Every goal was so much fun.
And I think he tricked the goalie
today. First of all, there's a point where I was like, man, you mentioned Luis Suarez is the first guy to hit a hat trick before Messi. That would have been so. I mean, I would have been kind of like, damn.
He should have had it. He hit the third goal.
He should have had it, and then I thought Messi. I was like, well, You still got a chance. So then I was hoping Messi would get it. I was like, all right, whatever. I'll settle. That's fine. I'll settle for the 5-0 drubbing. It's fine.
Oh darn! Yeah, I even think
at
Messi
the
Messi
Florida
tricked
Derby.
Messi tricked the goalkeeper too when he chested it. The goalkeeper, I guess, thought he was gonna go to the right, and he chested it kind of to the left, and he just blocked out the defender after that and let it just.
And the
trickle
defender was like, "I'm not gonna let you kick this in," and he was just grabbing his jersey, and I was like, "This is a red card. If this ball didn't go in, it was gonna be a red card for obstruction." He was just pulling his jersey like so blatantly, and there was just nothing anyone can do. It's one of those goals that like it's moving in slow motion, and no one can do anything about it. It's just destined to go in. It was beautiful because
how did he kick it in?
Well, he didn't.
What with what?
It just bounced off his chest and then it slowly trickled in. And Messi was just shielding the guy off.
Alba goes for the scary Larry. Orlando City player tracking back, kicks it, bounces off the crossbar and out. Right, hits back into the ground, bounces up. Messi pops up in the box, of course. Chests it as the goalkeeper's coming from the opposite side. He chests it like contradictory to where the goalie's coming, and then just the ball coming off his chest just dribbled in, and then the defender behind Messi was just trying to like pull Messi back to stop him from kicking it, and it just went in, and it was just incredible. Yeah, the scary Larry. Jose, would you like to describe the scary Larry?
I don't know what a scary Larry is. Actually, does anyone on the chat know what a scary Larry is?
A scary Larry is when you chip it in. When you do a nice little chip in over Larry, the goalkeeper, I whatever. That was something that I told them when I was playing FIFA with them, and they're like, "What? I never heard of that." I was like,
you guys should do a scary Larry. And we're like, what's a scary Larry? What are you talking about?
It's just put over the goalkeeper.
But it's true. Messi was cracking up. Like you could tell he was shielding the guy. The ball goes in, and he just turns over. He looks over his shoulder. He's like,
it was totally like a "you got punked" moment.
Oh my god, it's like little brother laughing.
And Messi was Ashton Kutcher. So then the second goal. I mean, Messi can score however he wants.
Ronaldo would never.
But two very unlikely ways that Messi scored. Firstly, being his chest. Secondly, why are we highlighting that again? Just explain what a scary Larry was. So you chip the keeper. So he hits it off his chest for the first goal. The second goal, he heads it in. Of all the goals that Messi scored, I think they said he only has 26 headed goals now. That's crazy to think. And it's funny. I was looking at the Hard Rock app. Please gamble responsibly, and if you have a problem, call.
That's at least 2,000 plus.
It was plus 1,400. It was plus 1,400 for Messi.
I've seen that before of Messi heading it in, and it's usually plus 2,000.
It was high, but the odds on him like scoring multiple goals have slowly gone down.
Yeah.
This week, I think to score a goal was minus 140, and then to score two instead of plus 600, it was down to plus 500. So little by little, they're catching up. But Chow's correcting me that this was the 27th header. So he had 26 heading into this match. But still, a very unlikely way for Messi to score because he's not a very tall person. So for him to head it, he's got to just be completely open. And he was. And what a pass by Suarez, huh?
It's expected. It's what we expect. That's the thing. Like this kind of beautiful music is what we expect. What him, Alba, and Messi do is, we kind of expect that, and we're starting to see it. So that's kind of fun.
Kinda.
So did you know
the most fun?
Did you know after seeing all these Messi goals and heading in and all this stuff, that was the 715th non-penalty goal for Messi. That's a record. He's a top. He's a number one for non-penalty goals. 715.
Just another goal,
and it was
in Inter Miami.
Huh?
Just another record while under Inter Miami.
I thought Chris was going to come in with, did you know that was Messi's 27th heading goal? I'm like, yes, we just talked about that. Yes.
I wish.
We did know. But that's a great. Did you know? I did not know that.
It's
Thank you,
great because
Chris.
everyone
Thank you,
talks.
Chris.
Everyone
Thank
talks
you,
about Messi
Chris.
being all
Thank
penalties
you,
and blah
Chris.
blah. And he's
It's good stuff. And I like your jersey, Chris.
thank you. I like your white polo.
You're wearing
I
it
took
all
my
day.
jersey off. Like I said, I was so sweaty from all the dancing. I had to shower when I got home.
You did. You showered.
Yeah.
So looking back at our preview, what do you guys regret saying from our preview? Because we obviously got a lot wrong.
No, not me. I'm
No
sorry.
regrets.
I'm so
No
sorry.
regrets.
I'm so sorry to tell you. I did not pull up the tape. I said that we would win, and it would require.
Okay.
I said that we would win, but it would require Luis Suarez scoring at the 9th position. We haven't had that ever. Sorry, those fans, that hope Campana scores.
All right, so really quickly before I talk about the very few things that I regret saying, regarding Redondo, it was announced that he is likely to be available for Thursday. Is that true against Nashville? Am I repeating that correctly?
That's what I saw. He was on the pitch today, so that was nice to see. Warming up and all
That's
that.
the report
Like
that came out.
Yeah, so it
They
seems
like
like
to be available.
we're close on Redondo. And then Crema probably has another 3 weeks of recovery left, something like that, 3-4 weeks. But yeah, it builds on the excitement that was created today, because if we're talking about what we look like today and then adding 2 very dynamic players in the midfield, things are looking up. Things I regret saying in the preview is just saying that there were going to be egregious giveaways, because there really weren't egregious giveaways today. The team was playing much sharper. There's always room for improvement, because that's just in the run of play, things are going to happen. But we didn't have passes or giveaways that were as bad as the ones that we saw in Salt Lake, or against Salt Lake and in LA. And that shows what a difference it makes for our defense. Like, the stress that our defense was under today was so lower than it has been in the past 2 matches. So I don't regret saying it, but that was something that I said that was wrong, because I said there are going to be those moments, and there really weren't in this match.
I regret saying that this match was a good spot for wholesale substitutions in the starting lineup. I did think that they were going to handle Orlando, not to the extent that they did. I said 3-0 and we got 5-0. And that's another regret. Jose at one point kind of like challenged me and said, "Oh, did you guess 6-0? I should have pounded the table and said, you know what? Yeah, 6-0, fine." And that would have been just as accurate. But I expected, I'm a fan.
But what did you do? But what did you do?
I said 3-0. I said they would dominate, and they did, and I'm very happy. And as a fan, I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna expect a lot from this team. They have, as far as I'm concerned, the most talent than any MLS team in the league. So I expect them to play like that. And yeah, I regret saying that maybe this is a good match to see some of these subs. But you know what? The way they played, maybe they could have made the subs and still had a good result. So yeah, I think that's asking for too much. No, but we're super happy to see. We're super happy to see Suarez find his rhythm. And yeah, now he knows, like, maybe he needed to see that this is the way he needs to attack it. He's not going to be burning by anybody, and I feel like he's been trying to do that in the last few matches, is trying to outleg people, and this, he's kind of maybe he's more of a bulldozer in the middle, and just has to like bounce off of contact and maintain possession and strike it. So maybe this is a blueprint of sorts for us moving forward.
You know what I kind of regret, or what maybe I was very wrong on, is that it was going to be a great matchup in the midfield, because our midfield completely killed their midfield. It wasn't even a competition. They had more possession than us, but meaningful possession, they didn't have it. They couldn't get past our midfield, really. It was very what was the first shot on goal that they even had? You said 60th minute.
60th minute.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't even get past our midfield. So that what I said about that, regret it, because they couldn't do anything on it. Gomez was again bullying people. He had three fouls to begin with, like in the first, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something like that. And yeah, he set the tone, and I love seeing that against a rival matchup. So I'm glad, and he played very, very well in the midfield. He really set the tone in there. Hey, Henry, he's always predicting these crazy things, so he has to hit sometimes. And then when he doesn't hit something, he says, "Oh, but if this and if that."
But that's why he's Dave Stradamus.
That's why I wear the captain's hat and they don't.
That's ridiculous.
That's why he goes to the games and we don't.
You're welcome.
Oh man! So this was the biggest.
That was sponsored by what are the sponsors? We had a sponsor that got deed to the game.
Pest Bros. This was sponsored by Pest Bros. Thank you for interrupting me.
Sponsor more. If everyone sponsors more, we can all go to the games.
Great, thank you. So this was the largest victory that Miami have had over any club, or definitely Orlando, but it's our biggest margin of victory, and the margin of victory is so huge for our goal differential in the table. So talking about the standings here, we've been at the top of the standings. Now, granted, we've had an extra game than everyone, but right now, our goal record is really nice. Like, we've talked about our defense being a weak point. This defense has allowed one goal against LA, and we scored 8. So that is tremendous to start a season, because we can talk about Russ being a factor. 8-1 is a very good ratio, and we are now clear in the standings right now. There are still a couple games going on, but Columbus, they drew today, which was a huge result. It was a result that Minnesota got at the very death. Cost me some money on Hard Rock, but what are you going to do? And but it was so positive for us, because Columbus looked very strong. They had a tough go in the first half, but it was a lot due to Minnesota's keeper keeping them in that match. And Minnesota broke through 5 minutes into injury time in the second half. So that was a big result. We've had Cincinnati dropping points. So all these little results, it's very early in the season, but they add up. That's how you end in a situation like we were in last season, where we were a point shy of making the playoffs. You know, these results now matter. And on top of just getting the winning by 5 goals, that makes a big difference if you can get into a situation like we were in last season, where there were a lot of tiebreaker scenarios, and goal differential plays a big part in that. So these results not only are worth 6 points in the conference because you're knocking Orlando 3 and you're getting ahead 3, the goal differential makes a big difference.
You know, maybe having such a grueling preseason kind of worked out in Inter Miami's favor. They played against some of these teams that they're not going to fight anybody like them in the regular season who has that type of talent, and maybe going up against some of these teams have kind of maybe lit a little fire underneath them. Maybe getting skunked by Ronaldo's squad and Al Nassr made them want to prove a point that, hey, we're not cutting it out. Let's show what we got. So I mean, I'm not going to chalk it all up to that. It's very raw, and it's hard to really put a needle on it as that's a reason. But hell, if we're gonna, I'm trying to find positives where we can with what happened in the preseason, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say that we got beat into shape. That's what it was. We got beat into shape, and now we're rolling in the regular season, just like we planned.
And you know what? We have to take advantage of these matches that everyone is healthy and playing, because once the international matches start coming around, and we do see eventually more injuries. I mean, this is a long season. We're going to see nicks here and there. Your players are going to be injured. So if we could take advantage right now that our full squad is healthy, playing, everyone is here, and man, this is huge. It's huge for those breaks. It's huge for those times that the team doesn't look as good as they should be. So we got to take advantage as long as they're all together right now. And once Redondo gets in here, once Kramaski gets back in here, we just got to keep taking advantage of all these little times that we're just all together and syncing and in sync.
And that's where, even when we have a big lead, we need to go for it. They kept going for it in this game. We can't just sit back and be happy with a 3-0. We got to take advantage to the fullest extent, because if it's there to be had, keep punishing them, especially in a rivalry game, because it wasn't just satisfying that we beat Orlando, but the fact that we just obliterated them to the point where they're talking about dissolving the franchise. That's what I'm talking about.
Have you ever watched National Geographic when there's like a seal on the beach, and then a killer whale just grabs it and just like slams it across the beach, throwing it up and down, throwing it into the air, 80 miles in the air? That's what we saw today, but on a soccer field. I love it.
It's a very graphic picture.
not safe for work. Not safe for work. What they've just described.
It's on like Animal Planet.
We have kids that watch the show, David.
Have some respect.
I mean, I'm so sorry to hear that you had to hear that, Harrison. He's one of our he's one of our fans, and he does this. And David just described a killing of,
Can someone give me a cane to kind of just yank Jose out of here?
Jose's very empathetic towards aquatic creatures nowadays.
Yeah, I have a fish tank back here, and like David's just like killing animals. I'm not about it. But
Seals are not fish.
anyways, did you guys know that we lost the possession battle today?
Yes, I stated that.
52-48.
Julio said that.
Do you guys know who the man of the match is?
Luis Suarez.
Did you know the second man of the match is?
Messi.
Do you know the third?
Drake Callender.
Wrong. How about that? Do you know the third?
Got him.
Who's gonna know? David, is it you?
Robert Taylor, baby.
Julian Gressel.
Never Robert Taylor. Who? Gressel. It was Gressel.
Who's fourth? Let's just go down the whole list.
No, that was at 8.5, and that's very high. I just thought it was worth noting. He had a great game. It's funny because in today's game, we had guys stepping up, or we had been calling out for a while now. We're like, Luis Suarez, where are you? Gressel, where are you? These are guys that we pay a lot of money for, and they showed up. They did great. They had a great game, and this is stuff where we were like hoping that would come up. Yeah, I love corals. We're really hoping that these guys would show up and be good, and they showed up finally. I agree, Brian.
No, but that is a good point, Jose. We finally saw these players playing to their ability, and that is something that I mentioned in the preview, that eventually the quality of talent is gonna supersede the things that we had been seeing. Eventually, the quality of talent was gonna shine through, and these players were gonna show why we brought them in. They're veterans that have performed at the highest level. Even we talk about Gressel. This is a champion in this league, right? We talk about Luis Suarez. His accolades precede him. Like, they go without saying. Same goes for Messi. Same goes for Busquets. Same goes for Alba. And Busquets may not have had his best game, but if 3 of these 4 players are having a good game, I mean, I like our chances, And Gressel having a good game really solidifies the midfield. It really makes it more dynamic, especially when Messi's tucking in, and that right side doesn't have to be occupied by Yedlin, and Yedlin's able to play more back. It allows our defense to be a lot more solid and not get caught off guard so much, not get caught on counters. And you just see the potential of this team. And again, we're still without Crema. We're still without Redondo. This is without Farias. All these players that we would have had otherwise, they're, with the exception of Farias, they're going to get integrated back into the team. And it's just going to be really fun to watch, because there's going to be games like this. There's going to be games like LA and Salt Lake that it's a grind, but there are going to be matches like this because this offense is potent. Mic drop. Yeah, so Orlando also played to Miami's strengths. anyone that doesn't press us for 90 minutes is playing to our strengths, because if they give us space, we're going to punish them. And today we were maybe more clinical than we might be in other matches, but if you give us those chances, I'll take I'll back our team any day, but especially given a situation where they give us space. They tried pressing us and it seemed like they backed off of it very early, and then they sort of just chose moments to turn it on and off. But if you're not on the whole time and forcing the bad plays in midfield, we're going to have a field day just like today.
Also, like, you can't press somebody 90 minutes of the game. You're doing that to your own detriment, because your guys are all going to get gassed, and at some point we're going to break through. So good luck. Just good luck. If this team is playing, the whole name of the game is not playing sloppy. If we can control what we can control, then it's going to be very difficult for anybody to really break through against us. And it helps us that these guys they didn't seem to have anything on attack. I don't know if they're having a chemistry issue. I know they brought in Lodero. Muriel finally got his first start in this one. No, he didn't get his first start. He came in off the bench.
Neither of them started.
Yeah,
they were subs.
They're dealing with a lot of transition as well. I don't want to give them excuses because
and they played midweek
for them. That's the big thing. I don't remember who pointed it out, but all these teams that have played midweek have turned around and either tied or lost in their next league match. So that's something that we're going to have to start worrying about now moving forward, because now we're going to have to start having a couple games a week. So yeah, but I don't care. That's their issue. Tough Nuggets. Everybody's going to have to deal with it. And yeah, we're going to have to deal with it now too. But that's why it's nice to have the complement of subs coming in and getting Redondo in at just the right time. It's going to be good.
Starting next week, we got match on Thursday, Sunday, then Wednesday and Saturday. I think is the next four matches. That's
you guys are going to get a lot of Heron Heads.
A lot of Heron Heads.
No, not all of us.
Some of us are lacking in the hair on the heads category department.
Who's that? I'm just curious.
Oh my. Any Hoosiers. So yeah, I don't know what more we can talk about here. This was so fun. It was such a fun day. It's always great when your team scores early, but then to double up just as fast and then to just continue to pound them. Orlando never got into the game. I mean, even Facundo Torres didn't really have any moments that you were like, oof, like that was really close. Drake did have a very nice save against Muriel shortly after he came on. And I was very happy that they were able to keep a clean sheet, because Orlando did have a couple of chances towards the end of the game, definitely in the second half. I mean, they didn't have a shot on target until the 60th minute, so obviously it was past that point. But I was very happy for Drake to keep another clean sheet. He's establishing himself as one of the top keepers in the league, and that's no longer hyperbole at this point. Like, to an extent, we were joking about it last season, although he went on a crazy run during the Leagues Cup. But you're really seeing like talent at the keeper position. And that's going to be critical when we have rotation in defense. Our defense is shaky regardless. I still wouldn't say it's our strength, but they played well today. So having a top keeper in between the sticks is going to be hugely helpful. We saw the difference it made against Galaxy. But yeah, Orlando didn't really threaten him. He did well when called upon. Bye, Jose. No, just kidding. Go ahead.
No, I'm on TikTok. People are talking to me on TikTok. You guys don't even know. I'm just on so many
Jose?
different. I'm on so many different lives. You don't even know.
That's why Jose's so tired right now. Is because he's just doing so much Heron Heads content.
You four know why I'm tired. You four know. Nobody else knows. But you know, I wasn't supposed to be here. But yeah.
No, Jose's pulling extra shifts here. But if you do want to catch Jose live on TikTok, just follow at the Heron Heads. He does a lot of great content for that platform, including going live while we're also live here and also when we're recording other stuff. So make sure you give a follow. Lots of fireworks. Lots of camera movements. You know, he's very it's very conceptual,
The songs. He
yes.
adds songs. That
Yes,
are
very
impactful.
artful.
They,
Very
they,
artful.
They want me to turn in a TikTok a certain way, and I'm like, no. It needs fireworks. It needs motion. It needs art, and they're not. No, Henry. I am very happy about the result. This was a very unexpected result. I had been talking about this game. You guys know for a very long time about this is our biggest rival. This is a Florida Derby. It's just it just happened to come in a time in that I have a lot going on in my life, so I'm just very tired. But this definitely put a smile on my face. The fact that we were able to come out with a victory, and we weren't supposed to beat them by 5. It's not the way it was supposed to happen. It wasn't supposed to be a Messi, Luis Suarez brace each of them. That was not the way it was supposed to go. Where Luis Suarez should have had a hat trick. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. I have a lot of Orlando City fans that know me. They know where I live, and guess what? We whooped your ass. It is what it is. Take it. It must have felt very nice, but it is what it is.
Jose inviting Orlando City fans into the Lions Den.
Hide your babies.
It is what it is, man. I mean, you guys didn't show up, but if we're gonna be fair, also that they benched a lot of their best players today. Which, if we're gonna be, if we're gonna talk about it, right? I was a little surprised. So some of the lineups that they had coming into this game, but whatever. 5-0.
Argue with your mama.
I don't care.
Chris, any additional talking points you want to cover here?
No games tonight. I don't have any other games to play tonight.
We're good.
Do I show off the swag? All the free stuff?
Yes, please. So Dave's going to show
bring it
off
out.
all the swag that he got at today's
All
game.
right, guys. If you guys don't want to see it, I'm sorry. But first, they had a tequila stand. I think it's Espolon Tequila. And they gave out these little floppy hats.
Future sponsor of the show, perhaps?
But watch this. Look how cool this hat is. It's reversible. Hey, look at that. So I got 2 of these. If anybody wants
new
one.
New Dave Stradamus headwear.
No,
maybe?
this is the season of the icon, so we're sticking with the nautical theme.
Gotcha.
So if anybody wants one of these hats, I'll send them to whoever wants them because I got 2.
We have a Patreon tier for that. It says Dave and Jose Miscellany.
Yeah. And then I got this from Royal's stand. I got this pink towel with the Royal emblem at the bottom. So that's nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
I got, let's see, also from Espolon Tequila, I got 2 Inter Miami pink rubber bands. Ooh, this is another good one from Royal. I got a clear plastic fanny pack. In the stadium, you can't go in there without a bag that's not clear, so very clutch fanny pack. I only got one of those, so I'm keeping that one. Royal. So the first 10,000 guests at the game got a T-shirt, also sponsored by Royal. The front just has the Royal logo. In the back, it says, "This is Miami, home of icons." So that's pretty cool. So backwards,
Really
I know.
nice shirt.
It's backwards. Super cool.
That's
And
nice.
then we had the last one was Florida Blue. Had, I think, the nicest giveaway they had.
Are you wearing the fanny pack, David, or no?
Oh, always. I think I'm going to shower with it. I'm going to become a never nude and just always have my clear fanny pack on. And then Florida Blue had this really nice scarf giveaway. I think Julio wanted one, so I'll keep that. On one side, it just says Inter Miami CF. On the other side, it says, let's see, your football, your club, your city. So very nice. I think this is the nicest swag giveaway. If I'm going to rank them 1 to 10, this one gets 5 stars. It's great. Yeah, it's great. Great time. Lots of free stuff.
1 to 10, 5 stars.
5 stars. That's right. Espolon also gave free margaritas when you walked in if you were of age. So super nice. Had a great time. And then, yeah, when you get that Northwest club, they give you this little band to walk in, get all the stuff you want. So,
And then not
Did
just
you
that,
have a-
David, not just that, but you also won something at today's game, didn't
oh
you?
my God, that's absolutely right. Yeah. Just to show how much this was my night, I got the game tickets sponsored by my wife's company. She works for Baptist Health Miami, and she won them in a raffle. So
Future sponsor of the show, perhaps.
So we were able to go with their tickets. So thank you to Baptist Health Miami. And then so then like I think in the 75th minute of the game, they just announced, oh, section 131. And then they said my row, and they're like, oh, you've just won a gift card to Publix. So that's just another thing that we got to take away from all this. So yeah, it was fun. I like going to these games. They just get a bunch of free things.
Who would have thunk it, right? Just
Yeah.
go to a game, have a good time.
Yeah, and they score 5 goals and immediate goals. That's the other thing. It's like my wife, not used to these games. We scored in minute 3. She's like, "This is super nice. Like this, like I don't understand why you're always so stressed watching these soccer games." Yeah,
Ronaldo would never.
it's fantastic. Yeah, so I highly recommend if anybody can get out there to expect a 5-0 match. It's
Go
just
to these
not.
games. Every time David goes, it's 5-0.
Yeah, so it was great. I got a lot of stuff, and the most important thing I got was watching my team score 5 and Orlando score nothing.
Just an absolute delight of a Saturday afternoon.
Did you have like a bag for all that stuff? It's a lot of stuff.
I had a fanny pack.
Everything fit in the fanny pack?
No, we had really good parking, so I actually went back to the car before the game started and just put everything, because all the stuff in the fan zone is before you walk into the stadium. So I was able to go back to the car, put all the stuff in, with the exception of the Royal giveaway shirt. That's the one thing that we had on us, but everything, and my wife did have the fanny pack because we didn't have a bag, so it was kind of necessary.
All right. Well, fantastic experience all around. So we have a lot of matches coming up. So our next match is against Nashville in the CONCACAF Champions Cup on Thursday. So we will have a preview out probably Tuesday. I say that without asking anyone. So Tuesday or Wednesday. And then we will be live Thursday evening for a post-match reaction. As always, this has been super fun tonight. Chat's been very lively. Thank you so much to everyone that's been sticking around. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. It is totally free, but really helps us so much. And appreciate everyone that has already subscribed to the channel and that has been coming back. New viewers, old viewers, thank you guys so much. And for those of you listening on audio, thank you guys as well. Just a incredible result, an incredible day for Inter Miami. For the Heron Heads, just an absolute blast to be doing this for these matches this season. So thank you guys all for checking out the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you.